So here comes the virus X chapter 1, 16th June 1984, female spider. Egon Tikhonov had been tracking Maya Simplamaris for over 5 weeks, and the clues had led his team to the Nubian Desert in Sudan. They arrived on the Egyptian side of the city of Abu Simbel. There were two temples there. The Abu Simbel temples were built in 1283 to 1286 BC in honor to controversial Battle of Kadesh fought by Ramses II. Remote rebellious Nubia had been brought under central administration. The monument obviously served propaganda purposes. Ramses' victory over the enemies has to be made public on large scale. For this purpose, two temples were built on the site. The Great Temple of Ramses was dedicated to Ra Horakhte, the sun god Ra, and the smaller temple of Queen Nefertari to the goddess Hathor. Both temples were carved directly into the rock. The smaller Hathor temple, adorned with 6 standing colossi in resences carved into the rock. 4 statues depict Ramses and 2 Nefertari, which are 10 meters high. The entrance to the rock temple in the middle leads through a vestibule to a large hall supported by 6 pillars, topped with the head of the goddess Hathor. Maya Simplamaris was staying with her own Nubian tribe in a smaller temple of the goddess Hathor. She was half human, half spider. She did not eat her own tribesmen. There had been sacrificial ceremonies there. Maya was called by name Sipla. Her spider's lower body was originally based on a Japanese species called Nephila clavata. Its name also translates to Eurohumo, which is part of Japanese mythology. Uh, it was a women spider that usually assumed the form of a beautiful woman to lure her male victims into a trap to eat them. Then the men were under the spell of love. The woman changes her form to a giant spider, either entirely or partly. Maya could not change her form back to human or become completely a spider. From now on, she would be only half human with spider abilities. Her 8 legs were black and yellow like Nebula clavata. The rear end was light green in color with beautiful patterning. In it, it is a beautiful spider in terms of coloring. The woman was surprisingly beautiful with this new lower body. Her skin color was still black as always. Her hands were unchanged. Her tribe did not fear her in this war. If they have worshipped her even before these saints, they worshipped her much more. She was addressed as the goddess Sipla, or the Spider Queen. All people who strayed to the place were sacrificed to this new goddess. Over time, her might she might become a legend. All still would complicate Egon's task of stopping her. The sick virus experiment had been successful. If necessary, Maya would create an army of spiders to protect against future attacks. It would be pretty clear that the Egyptians and others would want to destroy Maya. Egon was not the only one who would be coming to kill her. Killing her would not be easy, even though she did not have magical powers. According to the myth of Yurokumo, the most deadly weapon would be people's belief in the existence of these magical powers, and she would do everything to create this illusion. She should be destroyed before the news of the spider goddess would spread worldwide. This would not remain a secret. 5 hours later, Egon attacked Hathor's temple with his team. They had to shoot Maya's hostile tribesmen without mercy. They were accompanied by dozen, dozen local, some local soldiers. They were greeted by a horrifying sight inside the temple. Much like during their previous mission, bodies were hanging everywhere, wrapped in spider webs. Deja vu quite familiar, Egon stated. Before he could say more, several giant spiders attacked. Mikhail and one of the soldiers carried flamethrowers on their backs, with which they roasted the worst spiders. How you dare How dare you burn my children, you counter scourers, or whatever. A voice echoed in the temple. What is it, Ekon? What lives here? One of the soldiers asked nervously. That female voice was so scary that it was no wonder the man was frightened. Yurakumo, a Japanese horror story about the woman spider, Ekon replied, and shot one of the spiders at the same time. So that story is true, the same soldier asked. Don't worry, it doesn't have magical powers. It was created in laboratory. Maya Simplamaris is her name. The same woman I have been looking for. Be careful, Ekon replied. Wrong, so wrong. I'm African's Yurokumo. Goddess Sipla. Spider Queen. Maya's voice said and laughed. The voice echoed to the left and right. One soldier opened Some soldiers opened fire after seeing a quickly moving shadow on a ceiling. The team had killed all the spiders. Only 3 soldiers were left when the female spider attacked. The men fired at it, but its long legs pierced their chests. Maya also shot a pistol at the flamethrower tank, which exploded. As they recovered from the explosion, she took Mikhail Mariam with her, and a moment later his dead body fell to the floor. He was completely dry, as if he had been dead for a long time. A female spider jumped in front of Ekon and knocked him unconscious. Stay there or I will drop this, Jasmine Draconias shouted, holding a hand grenade. I can't die, idiot. You will just die yourself. Just put that pin back in while you still can. I won't eat you. I already completely full for now. Jasmine threw it towards the female spider, which with swatted it toward the ceiling with one of its 8 legs. The explosion collapsed the roof on the top of Maya. Jasmine pulled unconscious Ekon out of the temple. Finally she blew up the temple's main entrance to ensure the death of Maya Simplamaris, or whatever she had become. Next day, Jasmine cleared the path to the temple with the locals' help, but the female spider's body was no longer found anywhere. This mystery still haunted Ekon and Jasmine for years. Ekon's father died in '89. In '91 they both left their jobs and moved to America. Ekon became a priest in the city of Salty Rock in the early '90s, and Jasmine became teacher in Los Angeles, utilizing her doctoral background. Doctoral, they wanted to forget excretions and these crazy spider experiments. AXF did not find evidence of excretion's continued operation on the African continent. No one knew that this was just the beginning. Zheng Kang and Tony Adams were ready to continue the work that their friend Abraham Imlicalius was started.